A very good morning to all of you. If it could be something like this, that I have just climbed a beautiful mountain and was standing over a cliff there, overlooking a vast, beautiful, wide valley. And then if I would say, "Good morning," just tell me what would happen. What would happen? The whole valley, the whole nature, the whole universe, they'll all get back to me instantly. Isn't it true? The beauty is this, that we give one, but what is given back to us by the universe is not one. Echoes after echoes after echoes of the repetition of that beautiful, positive word of affirming the goodness of the morning will be given back to me instantly, isn't it? Till possibly, my ears cannot hear, but still the reverberations will continue in this space because our power to listen is limited. But the universe powers to give back to us is unlimited. Do you agree on this point? The thing is this, that if I said good morning and I wanted an echo from all of your hearts, is very simple. I wanted to make sure that is this morning really good? If it is truly good, then it has to have some significance as to why it is so good. What happens is that we usually exchange these words, good morning, good evening, or whatever. But the more number of times we do it, we gradually get into a mode of kind of repetitiveness where we lose touch with the meaning, purpose, or the essence of it. So we say good morning, but we don't feel anything in our heart. But if I ask you, what is so special about this morning today? The special is this, that I'm blessed by all of you today, and I'm blessed, I'm privileged, I'm honored, and indeed I'm so much thankful to the organizers of this wonderful organization, tGELF. And I'm so blessed by all of your presence. But more than that, all of it, there is yet some uniqueness of this morning. What is the uniqueness of this morning? The uniqueness of this morning is this. You all will agree with me that this came for the first time in our life, isn't it? This morning that we have today came to us for the first time in our life. When we woke up this morning, I don't know how many of you were absolutely awed. Oh my goodness, I have the gift of this morning. How many of you have woken up with a feeling, oh, my heart is beating? How many of you have woken up this morning with a deep sense of gratitude to the whole of the universe that you are once again gifted yet another morning to prove one thing, that things can be done better? I remember when I was in my master's class in commerce, I had a professor who was from Harvard University. And he used to always tell us, repeat one word in our class. He used to say, things can be done better. His name was Gauri Shankar. So we equated Gauri Shankar, but things can be done better is equal to Gauri Shankar. Believe me, it is not only that this morning is for the first time, there is another dimension to it. This morning, once gone, will not come back to us again. Do you think it will come back to us again? It will not. Apart from that, this morning is unique because it is fresh and it's new. It never came to our life. And it will never come to our life. This is the essence of mindfulness. To be mindful is to be totally present to what you have at hand. To be mindful is to be totally aware and conscious of what is the gift of the whole of the universe. I can give you a beautiful, short, very small exercise to understand the essence of mindfulness, which I'm going to share with you this morning. Would you please all of you stand up for a while? Just for a short, beautiful practice. You are standing, so keep both of your feet about 10 to 12 inches apart, grouted well in the ground, and push your shoulders a little back, and allow your hands to just hang on the sides. And please close your eyes for a while. Once you close your eyes, you feel your body closer to you. You feel the vibration of your body, the closer proximity to your beautiful gift of the physical body. From head to the toes, you can scan your body for a while by just passing your mind from one part of the body to the other, feeling the vibrations of your body. Take a couple of deep breaths and release your breaths. Take a deep breath again and release your breaths. Take a deep breath and release your breaths. Now please open your eyes. You have both of your hands. What we will do now is lift our arms very slow. Okay? Please see how I do it first. We can just do it like this, mechanically. And bring it down mechanically. As you do in gyms. But here what we are going to do is, we have to put all our attention, all our focus only to the two arms. We bring all our mind only to our arms. So that our total awareness is only with both these two arms. Just try it out once and see what happens. Together we'll do it. Very slowly lift your arms and be totally focused to both of your arms only. Just feel the arms only. As if you have only these two parts of your body, your arms. Gradually lift, being totally conscious of your arms only. And gradually bring your arms down, being totally conscious. As if you only have arms in your body and nothing else. Very slow, but deeply conscious and mindful. Very slow, but deeply conscious and mindful. You feel the vibrations of your body, and particularly your arms now. Now once again we'll go for the second round of lifting our arms. Very slow, but deeply conscious of both of your arms. Lift slowly and feel the energy of your arms. How, as you put your mind, which is consciousness, we come to realize that our body is not just material stuff, but it is energy and vibrations. We'll gradually bring our arms down, slowly and mindfully. Slowly and mindfully. Conscious about the vibrations that's going on in my arms. Feel the energy. Feel the vibration. The more you are focused, more you'll feel the vibrations, particularly in your palms and fingers, because these are the most sensitive part of your body. There's the last and final time. We'll go for the third time. Very slow. Feel your arms and your vibrations. As you lift your arms up, please stop there for a moment and feel that there's positive vibrations all over the universe. You are reaching out to them. And you are downloading all of it into your beautiful physical body to be blessed. Gradually bring your arms down. I want you to be fully conscious of only your arms, your palms, and your fingers, and feel the vibrations and the energy that vibrates, provided we can focus our mind to any place, to any part of our body. Please close your eyes for a while and feel the vibration of your whole body. Feel the energy in your palms and the fingers. Please open your eyes. Please take your seats. Did you feel some difference? What was the difference? What did you feel when you lifted your arms like this with full consciousness? What happened to your arms? Did you just feel them as just a material stuff, or did you start feeling some deep vibratory field of your arms? Did you feel that? You felt that energy, vibrations? What possibly it conveyed to all of us is something very simple. That we are not just material body. That makes a huge difference to our perception of life. That we all always think that we are material body with flesh and blood. But we are not just material body, as not only the science, but all the greatest of the seers and sages always have told us. That which you are seeking outside is not out there. That which you are seeking outside is in here, inside of you. The second thing that I'm going to take you all through is a short spell of meditation once again, because I believe more in experiential part of anything. It's one thing that we know things through knowledge, and a deeper part of it is that we need to know things through our experience. Like this moment, when we lifted our arms, we had an experiential understanding that when we focus our mind to any part of our body or to anywhere, some difference happens, and that difference is in the terms of our energy. I remember a beautiful story of a Zen teacher. She was a nun. She lived a long life, and she was an enlightened teacher in Tibet. Usually what happens in Tibetan culture, when any enlightened master is dying, they sit in their meditation posture and willingly leave their body. So here was this enlightened teacher was sitting there, and she was about to pass over, and all her disciples were sitting around. They were chanting mantras, and here she was sitting, and then according to their tradition, one student comes forward and asks the teacher, whispers into the ears, "What's your parting message?" She was quiet for quite some time, and then after a while, she opened her mouth and she said, "Attention." The student was not very happy because it was just a small word, attention, and she didn't explain anything. So the student said, "Would you kindly explain what you want to mean? What is your message?" There was absolute silence. She didn't say a word. After a long time, she broke her silence, and then she said, once again, attention. The student kept quiet for a while and then again came back and whispered, said, Master, we all want to know from you what you exactly mean by attention. And again repeating the same thing twice by saying attention. Would you explain to us what is the whole significance of it? And she said, finally, after a long silence, she broke it with the word, attention. So thrice she said the same word, which was a huge message to all of us, all over the humanity. Because the whole concept of mindfulness is nothing but paying attention. What happens is that whenever we are doing anything at any point of time, most often our body is one place, our mind is in another place. Young kids, they are on the desk studying, but their mind is playing in the field. It's not where our body is, but where our mind is, that's where we are. As a result, this paying attention becomes so very important. Like I can immediately take you to the second phase of my thing. I want to share a short meditation with all of you, which would be, once again, a beautiful relaxation. Please sit with your backs a little straightened up, with your feet on the ground, and back completely relaxed. You can have both of your hands right on your knees or thighs. And please close your eyes. We'll do this beautiful relaxation technique in 3 stages. The first stage will be, I'll take you through the universe, that's your own physical body, by suggesting to take your attention from one part of the body to the other. And then I will take you to your breath, to focus your mind to your breaths. And finally to counting 1 to 90. We'll call this as 90 seconds of pause. When I ask you to count 1 to 90, you will just count by following the ticking of a clock, which ticks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So first we start with our physical part. Please drop your shoulders completely and go into a beautiful relaxation mode. First, bring the attention of your mind to the crown of your head, to your skull, and focus your mind for a while exactly to the center of your head. Just focusing your mind to the center of your head. Feel the relaxation of your hairs too, as you suggest. Gradually bring your mind to your forehead and relax all the muscles of your forehead. Feel the light and gradually feel your eyes. Express your deepest gratitude to the whole of the universe for the gift of your eyes and the vision. With each seed, you see all the myriads of colors of creations and your most loved ones. Feel the relaxation of all the tissues of your eyes and gradually move down to your cheeks. and the muscles around your jaws. Feel completely relaxed. Feel your lips, your nostrils, as if every part of your facial muscles is opening up. Every pore is opening up to the light of the universal energy. As if all the blocked energies are opening up, releasing all tensions. Gradually move down to your neck. You can move your head to the left and right very slowly and gradually to release all the tensions. And again bring it to the center. Very slow, graceful movement of your neck to just release and relax all the tensions of your neck muscles. And gradually bring it to the center. Please, for a while, just focus your mind to the neck muscles and suggest complete relaxation. That's where we mostly hold our stress blocks, the neck and the shoulders. That's the reason we get so much pain there at times. Gradually move toward your shoulders and drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders completely. Now we are going to focus on both of our arms, the upper arms, the elbows, and gradually move down toward the wrist and the palms and the fingers. Please try to focus your mind for a while, the center of your palms, and feel the vibrations there. Gradually feel as if something is moving there, and those who can focus deeper can feel tingling sensations. Again, this only conveys the message that we are energy bodies in a vibrational world where everything else is vibrating around us and every cell of our body is vibrating with the universe. We are interconnected, we are interdependent, we are interrelated. Gradually move back to your shoulders and come to your chest. Relax all the muscles around your chest and try to feel the beats of your heart. And be grateful to the organ heart for beating hundreds of thousands of times to pump fresh blood to every cell of our body to make our life possible. Just say, thank you, my heart, for the gift of life. Gradually move down to your abdomen and relax all the muscles around your abdomen. Feel how with each and every inhalation and exhalation, the chest and the abdomen rises and falls. It's as if the whole universe is breathing through you. Feel the pulsation. Feel the universal flow of energy inside of you. The rise and the fall. The rise and the fall. Affirm inside of you that you are not individually breathing, but the trees and plants and the farthest stars in the galaxies are also breathing through you, in you, with you. that you are not alone in this universe of light, energy, vibrations and frequencies. Gradually move down through your thighs and relax all the muscles of your thighs as you sit, and your knees, and your calves, and your ankles, toes of your feet, as if with the eye of awareness, you're becoming mindful of your whole physical universe, the mini-universe, your physical body. Feel the soles of your feet touching the ground. This is not ground. Feel that as if you're touching Mother Earth. And the Mother Earth is holding you in her bosom, nourishing you, loving you, caring for you, providing food for you. Express your deepest gratitude to Mother Earth for all her infinite gifts in your life. You have traveled the length and breadth of your own physical universe through your meditative process. This is the process of cleansing. This is the process of healing our physical body and our mental body and our emotional body. Now we'll gradually move back from where we started our journey, from soles to the toes, to the ankles, and to the calves and knees and thighs, and gradually move towards the back, through west, and feel your spine and the muscles around your spine, the back, and relax completely your back muscles as if they are just opening up. All the tense blocks are just opening up. Gradually move through your neck to the head, to your skull and to your forehead and to your eyes. And please bring your mind now to the tip of your nostrils. And now take 3 deep breaths. We'll work with our breaths for a while now in our meditative process of becoming mindful about our breaths. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Now for a while we are just going to be watchful of our breaths. Regular breaths, normal breaths, but watchful breaths, mindful breaths. Please observe the incoming air that passes through your nostrils inside of you, as if the whole universe is moving inside of you through this air, cleansing, oxygenating, breathing fresh life to each and every cell of your body, healing them all. And as you exhale, you are throwing out all the worn out cells and all the negative emotions out of your body, allowing the light of the universe to encircle you from all sides and protect you. Watch your breath. Become mindful of your breaths. Just observe your breaths. Your observation of your breaths add magic to your breaths. Our breaths are magical. It can change the negative emotions into positive emotions in seconds. Breaths of life. Now we all are breathing together one breath. We are exchanging our breaths because we are one humanity, one family, coming from one divine parents. All of us are now like this beautiful string that holds all the bits together or the flowers together for a garland. That string is our breaths. It unites us all. Breaths are beyond religions, beyond faiths. Breaths are universal. So with our keen observation of our breaths, we can do the magic of cleansing our mind and attaining clarity of our mind. Now we move to the third phase of our meditation, of just meditating on sound. And we will take the sound of counting numbers. Let's start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Once you finish counting 1 to 90, gradually bring your mind to your body. Feel the calmness surrounding you. Express your gratitude to your parents who were instruments to bring you into this earth. Express your gratitude to your ancestors, whose blessings you all are. Express your gratitude to teachers, all those great teachers who brought light into your life, the light of knowledge, the light of enlightenment. Express your gratitude to Mother Earth and all the elements of nature that make life possible on earth. To the sun, to the moon, to the stars and the galaxies, to the trees and the plants and the beautiful birds, everything of nature who is one with us and we are one with them. Express your gratitude to all of them who have hurt you from time to time. Be thankful to them, for they are the ones who brought a new consciousness into your life. Say thank you to life. Say thank you to life. Say thank you to life. Let gratitude fill your heart. Let love radiate from your heart at this moment of silence to all the sentient beings, to all the suffering souls, to all of these who are afflicted with diseases and suffering in this world. And let your heart pray the universal prayer. May all be happy in this world. May all be healthy in body and mind. May we see only the good in others, the divine potential in others, the holiness in others. May this world be free of all afflictions, pains and miseries and agonies. And may peace prevail. On all spheres of life. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Please open your eyes. You can just palm your eyes and just stroke backward. May I know from you a little bit of your experiences. In terms of, did you all feel relaxed for a while? Felt sleepy? Why it so happens that when we possibly try to do meditations, we sometimes doze off? Or why it happens that we start to meditate, our mind goes everywhere? Why most people start meditation but give it up in the middle and just go away? Why we cannot be consistent with this practice? I believe that most of us start this whole practice with certain mythical ideas that meditation is something to do with concentration. But did you watch one thing, that when you were, even for split seconds, those of you who had this feeling of relaxation, you had yet another dimension of your life, and that was your mind was calmer. Isn't it? Did you feel that when you were relaxed, your mind felt calmer? Then, can we logically think it this way, that it's only when we are relaxed our mind is calm. When we are tense, our mind cannot be calm, isn't it? One of the wisest words is this, that relaxation opens the gateway to the higher wisdom. All of you being the budding leaders of tomorrow, we all need to understand one thing for sure. Until such time you truly have a very calm state of mind, the clarity of mind will not come to you. When the mind is completely clogged with too many ideas overlapping each other, you really cannot see through the mist of the mysteries of life. So the most important thing that we all first and foremost learn in life is this, that life doesn't flow from outside in. Life flows from inside out. We have heard this again and again, this word we have been hearing, but most often what happens is this, that those words which we hear again and again, we start to lose the real deeper significance of it, because words are one thing, knowledge is one thing, but to tally that with our experience is another thing. In order to experience the words, in order to experience the knowledge, in order to experience the information that we have, we need to put ourselves into an acid test of practice. Would you please let me know how many of you practice some kind of meditation every day? Please raise your hands. Look, most of you, if I take a statistical data, it's very few who raised your hands. But I can truly assure you one thing, that you are truly missing something very deep in life. And one thing you can take it from me, if I have come to you, it has been a divine blessing if I have come to you, then please carry this particular one message from my heart. Don't deprive yourself of your attention to yourself. Could I make it correct? Don't deprive yourself of your own attention to yourself, because until and unless you sit with your own body, you do not know what are the deeper vibrations of your own body. Until and unless you watch your own breath, you do not know how you are totally connected with the whole universal process. Until and unless you try to see your own mind in front of you, you hardly know yourself, who you are, what you are, and what's the state of your mind. Most often what happens is this: whenever we start to watch our mind, the mind comes to play random, because that's exactly what is the state of our mind. But if we start watching our mind, one thing happens. The most successful leaders of the world today have all been accepting, and they've already accepted this fact, that mindfulness meditation is the way to the world that we are trying to see tomorrow. Because every innovative ideas, every innovative thoughts, every creative ideas, every creative thoughts ultimately has to blossom from the mind. The greatest of the scientists and the stalwarts and celebrities of the world, if they have achieved certain peak level of experience and excellence, they must have done it at a time where their mind was still. The greatest of the discoveries of the world, they were absolutely something which dawned, which blossomed after efforts and efforts and efforts. Suddenly you reach a point of effortlessness. Suddenly you reach a point where you find that it is not effort anymore, something more is needed. What is there something more that is needed? That something more that is needed is divine grace. And that divine grace comes only when we are open to the light. I want to ask you one more thing. When you felt that calmness, did you also at the same time feel a sense of happiness? Because when we are tense, we are not happy, isn't? But when we are calm, imagine what happens is something very unique. When we are calm, when we are relaxed, automatically something happens. We are happy. But the best part of it is this: in most of the universities of the world today, there is so much research going on. What happens to the brain of a meditator? They are finding that this man is sitting doing nothing, yet his brains, those parts of the brains are activated, which basically has to do with immense happiness, infinite joy, infinite peace, infinite harmony. Only those parts of the brains are just opening up. They are triggered. But the thing is this: we always believe that if we have this or if we have that, then it will happen. But here is a state where you are basically sitting in a posture where you are absolutely doing nothing, but you are trying to basically bring your consciousness to your mind, to your breath, to your body, and some magic is happening inside of you. My whole suggestion is this, that until and unless we all try to understand this basic fact of life, that we need to today or tomorrow come first within ourselves to begin our journey. And that journey is first from outside into our inner world, where we need to be established. And once we are established into our inner world, then we really can see all the magic that we want to create in the external world, because the change has to happen inside first. So these practices that I was talking to you is basically to bring into our mind that state. I want to share with you one more, because most of you have to today or tomorrow get into that phase of a concentrated mind state. One simple more practice that I want to share with you is what we call as humming bee practice. It's a breathing technique. It's a breathing technique which many of you may be practicing. We can do it together. Just, kind of closing the cartilage of our ears and just humming like this. Can we do it together? I'm not hearing the sound from you. Can you loudly do it? Little louder. This is again a beautiful exercise that we all can do in order to focus our mind. Before we start to do any particular activity, we first need to create a gap, a pause. Most often what happens is that we keep on doing things one after the other without creating a pause between two acts. Most people in the world, in the act of doing and doing and doing, get so addicted to doing that they cannot survive without doing. But one of the most important lessons that we all need to learn in our life is how to create a pause between our acts. Did you watch a beautiful mystic thing of this universe? The Mother Nature has created this whole thing with pauses. Between your two heartbeats, there is a pause. Between your two breaths, there is a pause. Between your two words, there is a pause. Imagine if you have to type on a keyboard and you keep on typing without your finger touching the pause button, that is the space, what will be in front of you? If you keep typing all the characters, and you don't use the finger here, touching the space bar, what will be in front of you? There will be only gibberish. There will be no word. But the best part of it is this: when you put the finger on your space bar, something is created. And that's the time when the words are created. So also we all need to learn one thing, that we need to bring pause into our life. I've seen people getting into the car and just, starting the car and getting off. I always tell them, just wait, pause. First find out what you are trying to achieve. Where do you want to go? What's your destination? For a few seconds, just pause and affirm into your mind, I'm going to this place and I'm going to reach safe and all is well. The moment you just program your mind in a few words, something different happens. Everything opens up because the universe comes to our support. Every such pause between our acts adds a new dimension into our life. Because we have lost this. We have lost all the pause from our lives and we are continually into the mode of doing and doing and doing. But one thing that needs to be always brought into our mind is that we need to have an energy first inside of us which is vibrating with all the positive light. And that positive light and that positive vibration and that particular thing is completely do with our inner consciousness. And once the inner consciousness is completely focused within us, we'll feel a beautiful vibratory field surrounding us. You'll find that in this today's world, one of the most important things that is talked about all over is we are what our thoughts are. One more word we are finding, that thoughts are not thoughts, thoughts are vibrations. That thoughts create our world or mars our world. That a successful person is one who can motivate and who can think and who can really speak out the thoughts in such a manner that the others can be motivated. But the problem is that if we do not meditate every day, we'll really not have much contact with our thoughts, and will not be able to monitor our thoughts, and will not be able to really understand and really realize what is the power of our thoughts. It's the meditation, it's the mindfulness, it's to be aware and conscious of our thinking patterns, our emotional patterns. The more we become conscious about our thoughts, the more we are becoming conscious about our emotions, they start to change for the better. I often say a word, thoughts are not thoughts, thoughts are invitations. Thoughts are not thoughts, thoughts are invitations. Why they are invitations? Because they are invitations because every thought is a vibration created in our mind, but it is sent forth into the universe. It's not contained in our skull. It moves out into the universe, and it always goes and searches like a Google to find out its right frequency and brings back those thoughts back to us, which is going to be supportive of that, cooperative of that. So as a result, what is happening is that thoughts are created in our brain, but they go into the world of space. Every thought we think, if it is worded in positive words, they connect to the positive world. Every thought that we think in a negative terms, in negative words, they connect to the negative world. So the whole idea is this, that our thoughts are like invitations we are sending forth, and accordingly those things come back to us. And what kind of thoughts we will think, that will very much depend upon one thing, what kind of thoughts we are practicing every day. There are the words like we call in terms of affirmations. There are always the positive realities which are there, which at times we lose sight of. There are always in our life negative situations that are surrounded, and we are surrounded by it, but we can't just rise above it because we are continuously being gripped by it. Then what we do, it is again, as I said, if we can have a calmer state of mind, then gradually and gradually we can get into a state where we find the support of the higher world of grace coming into us. And then we find that some ways open up. I always say, when you have to solve a problem, don't start thinking, but just go into a deeper meditation, into calmness, and you'll find the answer will come from the higher world. It's not that always we can find solutions to our mind. We always can open up to the higher source of light. We can always open up to the higher source of intelligence, the universal intelligence, and bring that light within us. I happen to work with poorest of the poor on the streets of Calcutta. And much of the education that I had learned, I learned from the street children. I remember I was going to a temple one day, and there were lots of small little children, they were playing on the road. They were throwing stones on each other, calling names, and creating a mess. I was going to the temple, I went to the temple, I saw the Divine Mother and came out. And then I started searching for these little kids all around. And then I found these little children here and there in the alleys. I brought them all and I asked them, do you think if I start a small little school for you, you're going to sit and study? Do you go to any schools? They said, we don't go to any schools. Do you think you will study if I have a small school for you? They all said, yes. The most important thing that happened is that for next 6 months, I tried and tried and tried all my might to find a place where I could make these little children sit and learn. But nobody offered the space. I was ready to take any amount of money to hire a small little rental space to start this. Nobody offered, but everybody said that I was mad to think that I could do something with these little children. Because they were urchins, they were all children of the beggars, and they will never sit at one place, they will never learn. They are all given up cases. 6 months I tried and it didn't work. After 6 months, I decided in my mind that I'm not going to go for any rental place or any space for them, but right on a pavement, on a street, I'll start this school. That was the year 1994, way back I remember. And what I did, I took quite a lot of pencils and notebooks and some colorful books and went to a place which was an alley very close to that particular temple. And I just sat down and started calling these little children to me. They were curious. First, one little child came to me. I made that little child sit on my lap and I scribbled the first letters and she was looking into my eyes. I tell you, it was a wonderful experience of my life. But that experience was a first-hand experience. And then seeing that little child, yet another child came and sat on my lap and started scribbling on that particular notebook. Like that day, 35 children came and I started the first street school in Calcutta. There was no concept of street school in Calcutta then and then. Everybody had their beautiful infrastructure to start a school, but there was no street school. Because I had no space for these children, because nobody will allow them to sit in anywhere near or closer to their house because they create so much noise. Here was my only opportunity that I would sit on the road and do it. And believe me, it was an experience. Each of this child, when they came and sat on my lap and I started doing that little bit of scribbling on that paper, they looked into my eyes and I looked into their eyes, and as if I had the vision of God in their eyes. But more important than that, what happened was, after all this was happening, I wanted to taste one thing. So I had taken a lot of candies with me. And these books and slates and pencils. So what I told them is that, see, I have these books, I have these pencils, everything for you, but if you take this, then you will not get the candies. But mind you, all these children were begging around this temple. Obviously, they beg only for a couple of coins from each of these people who visit the temple. And these little children, when I told them, either you get these books or you get the candies. You will not believe me. 35 children, all of them, they never asked for the candies. They only asked for the books and the pencils and those colorful things that I had in my hand. What do you think is the message for all of us? The message for all of us is this, that each of us in this world, born wherever, in the rich family or poor on the street, we have that urge for knowledge. We have that urge for education. And each one of us wants to be educated. But those children were always thought of urchins, and everyone who would walk to the Kalighat temple, they'll brush them off. Get out of my way. They thought always of them as their beggars and would possibly think, why can't they go to schools or have a better life? But nobody volunteered to create a space for them where they could possibly have the first thing in life which you all need, love, attention. These children were always told, you are unwanted children. But let's never forget, that's where we create. That's exactly where we create the criminals in the tents. Deprived of love, children can grow up into monsters. Do you agree with me? I'm telling you one thing. I can give you a story. Long after this particular school was established, year after year, children came. They were on the streets. Number increased. We sent them to better schools, to better places, to better homes. They were placed well. And finally, one day I once again went to the same temple to have the darshan of the mother. And there, it was a very crowded day. I was just struggling to get in. And then, one boy comes holds my hand and takes me right in front of the mother. When it was all done, I was coming out, and then I just had a 100-rupee note in my pocket. I took it out, and I was about to offer that boy that money into his hands. You know what did he say? No, Baba, you don't give me this. I said, don't you want this money? He said, no. I said, why? He said, you taught me how to live life. That's enough for me. I'm living a good life today. What he does is, he takes devotees to the mother, and for that little service that he does, people give him money. But he's doing a service. We are taking these children to a particular park for a day-long, beautiful picnic. Parents, mothers, they came running to me. And usually these mothers are all beggars from different places. They came running to me, and when I was putting all these children into the bus, and I was accompanying them, the mothers came to me and said, Baba, we gave birth to these children, but we are not their parents. You are their father, you are their mother. I convey to you my life experience. The ultimate success of your leadership would be when you can wipe the tears of this suffering humanity. I go to the villages in Sundarbans, and the first time I went there, I started doing charity, and I started gradually experiencing one greatest lesson of life, that charity can never be the solution for eradication of poverty. No charity ever can do that ultimate good that we all look to achieve through charity, and I burned my finger to learn this lesson. We spent so much money, but what it created was a band of dependent people who would look up to me for the salvation of their lives, which was never a possibility. Finally, what happened is, within 2-3 years, I changed the entire strategy and changed into what we call, way back 92, 93, when self-help groups and microcredit was not so popular in our country. At that time, with the help of NABARD, I started my first microcredit in the villages that I served. When I first went to the villages, I remember that the women, when I talked about little bit of saving that they need to do in order to open the bank account, they said only one word: we have nothing to eat and you are talking about savings? Funny. It took time, so much time, to just create that awareness that it is not that we have come into the village to serve you through doling, through giving, but just to make you understand there are so many resources around you, inside you, which are untapped, and if they are tapped, magic can happen. It took a long course of time, but yes, I persevered through all of this with a few volunteers with me, and then finally the first self-help group was formed with 10 women of a particular hamlet, with only 2 rupees in those days, with only 2 rupees as individual contribution. And then this group, this first self-help group, was the first self-help group in the entire region. And then gradually this little money that they started saving, it was put into the bank. The first bank account was opened in the name of a particular group of women who belonged to small little huts in absolute abject poverty that they were living at that time. But that was the beginning, because then I started giving them vocational training one after the other. I never told them what they have to do, but I only was encouraging in giving those education which they possibly would need, and then open them up totally to decide what could be the best course of life to create wealth, because by giving we can never improve the situations in the villages and slums where the poverty is deep, as a deep-seated unconscious programming of human brain. Poverty is a deep-seated unconscious programming of a human brain, so human brain had to be restructured. If there is any permanent solution we want to have, we want to achieve anywhere in this world, we need to once again work on the consciousness of the people that we have gone to serve. It's not by giving, but giving them the education that you can do. You can do. But maybe they do not know how to do. But the little thing that we need to share with them is that you can do. And the ways to do is basically to be shared with them. I can share with you how I learned where is the true richness of life. I visited one of the Sundarban's areas one day, and I wanted to stay overnight. I made it clear that I will not stay with any of the teachers or any of the play people who are well off in the villages, with any house which is made of brick and mortar, but I wanted to stay in a place which is absolutely a thatched hut made of bamboos and hay and mud. That night, when after the whole day's work, I went and I was about to sleep, one thing that so much touched my heart is this. This woman in the family was such a poor of the poorest. She may be having or might have had only 1 or 2 saris. With 1 or 2 saris, she kept one sari which she put on the hay that was up on that, so that I wouldn't see the thing that is up there, which was all falling off. So maybe it would have fallen off on my head. So she didn't want to show that to me. So with one sari that she had, she would hang it on the top. It's like what you do at Samiyanas. Very, very similar. I was lying down on the bed. I was looking at this. I visited so many rich people in this world. But that night was a night which was an eye-opener for me. It's only when you go out, reach out to those who have not. Maybe they have a message for us as to what is the richness of life. What is the true value of life? One thing is to read through books, and the other thing is to jump into it. As I said, when nobody offered me a space, I started the street school on a street. When nobody would go into those interior villages, inaccessible villages, when I could fathom and go into that places, I found so much available there to do, and then in return be enriched. So my humble suggestions to all of you, I am really, really so privileged to see you, because I know as Vikas, who made all this beautiful thing possible for me, he told me that Shiv Khemji has a dream. And the dream is to see the next Gandhi growing out of any one of you. Is that right? To see the next man who would possibly be the change. And it has to start from our hearts. It cannot start from our brains. Because if that would be the case, God would make our brain his residence. We all know that the residence of God is the heart. We all know that we don't feel from our head, we feel from our heart. We all know that if any such great things have happened in this world, it always happened from our heart. Heart is the center of our feeling. Heart is the center of our universe. Heart is the center of our ultimate residence that we all live in. So my humble suggestions to all of you is that as you grow, please keep in mind 2 things. Practice awareness in small things of daily life. Don't start eating just because you have something in front of you which you may have bought or somebody may have offered. First, stop, pause, and feel where the food has come to you for. If you don't feel that deep sense of gratitude to Mother Earth and thank the Mother or thank whoever has given these fruits and the food, you are not doing justice to it. If you have gone to take a shower, don't just go and take a shower. Stop, pause, express your gratitude to the water which is falling. For a while, stop, just collect yourself and just allow yourselves to available to that water. When it tickles down your body, be available to that feeling, that perception. Is water just water? Or is water something of an energy, because after we have had our bath, when we come out, something happens. We feel refreshed. Even after a tired day, if we have a beautiful shower, something happens to us. And that something is a dimension of a kind of a relaxed state of body-mind. But if water is just water, do you think you could have achieved that? But my only thing that I'm trying to bring to all of our hearts is a reminder time and again that let us not accept things as they are, but just put our own suggestions into it. And that suggestion is, this is a gift. So that everything that we touch, everything that we feel, everything that we have in our life is first accepted as a gift from the universe. And as we do it, we become more and more mindful. And as we become more and more mindful, we become more and more grateful. As we become more and more grateful, we become more and more soulful. Because to be mindful, we need to be calm. An agitated mind cannot be a mindful mind. When we are calm, when we are tranquil, that magic happens into us, and we can have that particular gratitude blossoming in our heart, or love blossoming in our heart. So let the mindfulness, love, gratitude, all of it surround you from inside and outside, so that you really can go deeper into the very purpose of human birth. Why we are born as human vis-a-vis all other species of life. What is so special about this human body? What's so special about this magic of breath? What's this magic of this human mind with infinite possibilities that thoughts can create and mar the world? What's all this? Until and unless we sit quiet and try to learn these basic fundamentals of life and try to come closer and closer to its intrinsic values, we will not be able to really share it to the universe. So let all our leadership qualities ultimately come to the point that we first need to inculcate in us, cultivate in us, nurture in us a state of mind which is positive, which is affirmative, which is full of love, and which is full of compassion, and which is full of kindness. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swamiji, for having guided us through that beautiful session. We have been inspired to find a deeper and newfound appreciation for mindfulness, discipline, and living in the present moment. I'd now like to invite Rabbi Berkowitz to come up on stage. Swamiji and Rabbi Berkowitz are now open to address questions from the audience.
Thank you, sir.
Swamiji, the purpose of life, you said, if you could guide us. Are we supposed to, the purpose of life, you said, we'll realize it. I mean, we keep hearing it. Could you tell us what it is? One hasn't realized it yet.
Beautiful.
At least I haven't.
That's a beautiful question, because in order to know the purpose of life, first and foremost, as I said from the beginning, you must have seen that I have been repeating one word again and again and again, that we need to have a calm mind to really realize the purpose of life. Because you know very well what's happening all over the world today. There's so much of frustrations, there's so much of negativity, there is so much of all over agitations. Somewhere something is not right, otherwise how this could happen? Maybe individually and collectively we are not able to realize the purpose of human birth. In order to understand the purpose of human birth, we need to understand what is that uniqueness in human when compared to all other species of life. That uniqueness is that it's only in the human mind that that question will ever arise. And that question is, who am I? In no other species of life, this question will come. It's only in human you find there is so much of restlessness all the time. If you're hungry for anything, you'll always see that you are always looking for more and more and more and more. You seem to be never ever satisfied. Whereas all other species of life, you'll see, they are satisfied once they have what they want. Why it happens that we humans are always in a state of restlessness? There must be something deeper significance in this restlessness. And I would say that each and every human soul is essentially a seeker, a searcher. We all are seeking and searching something deeper than what appears on the surface, the peripherals, the changing phenomenon of life. Maybe we all are looking for something which can satisfy us in a deeper way for a longer time than what happens on a temporal basis. So the very purpose of human birth, for that reason, we need to, I would say that we need to just be quiet sometimes and sit with ourselves. And we have 3 tools with each one of us. We are born with these tools. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to buy anything for it. And there, what is it? It's our human body. It's our human mind. It's our human breaths. These tools have been the ones with which the greatest of the saints and sages in the Himalayas or any part of the world from any faith traditions, they have basically worked with these 3 tools within us. Our body, our mind, our breath. If you can work with this body and mind and breath, over a period of time, you'll definitely find this body really is not who you are. Otherwise, if you are the body, you definitely say, I body. You never say, I body, you say, my body. As if you say, my pencil or my pen or my shirt. So very fact that we say it's my body, that means body and me is not the same. The very fact I say that my mind, it also makes it very clear that me and my mind are 2 separate things. If I say my mind, that means I'm meaning something separate from me. So the whole purpose of human birth is to really go deeper within our physical body, which happens to be the physical universe for us in a mini level, to go into our breaths and just feel that particular vibratory field that is in the breath and the universe and our union, because it is the bridge between the individual and the universe. Our breath is the bridge between the individual and the universe. Because over a period of time as we practice, we come to realize the deeper significance of this reality, that human birth is basically for a discovery. And that discovery is not the discovery that only we find in the external world, but the discovery of one's own self. And that is like you once again rediscover who you are. And those people have become the beacons of light who discovered this ultimate discovery of human birth. Who am I? They didn't find an answer to this question. They became the answer. Because this answer cannot be found in any books, or any talks, or in anything, but this answer can only be the revealed knowledge. It is not a bookish knowledge. It has to be revealed from inside of us, and that can only be found through a deeper practice of inner introspection, through regular practice of meditation, and being more mindful about what you are doing and why you are doing and where you are heading to. And ultimately the direction of life comes toward that one goal, that all acts of human world then only will merge toward it, that we all belong to one human family, that we truly belong to one source, the one without the two. And as a result, we all will then start to love each other, because once I recognize my inner divinity, then I'll be able to see the divinity in others. That's the reason, that beautiful definition of namaste into our Indian culture. We say namaste. That means we are first recognizing the divine potential in you. We are not seeing the peripheral body which you are. We are seeing, recognizing, acknowledging, accepting that you are enshrined divinity. So there, the moment I identify a person as a divine potential or a divine personality, then I bow in reverence. As he also sees the same thing in me, he also bows to me. And as a result, we hug each other. And as we keep enlarging our heart more and more and more, one thing can happen. Humanity, going through all these pains and agonies all over the world, could once again unite. And I feel the starting first step toward that unity is meditation, compassion, love, and forgiveness.
I have a very simple question. Like I've been practicing meditation for some time now, like for nearly a year, and what I want to ask is, like since we are humans, and since we cannot really escape the general course of life that are necessary to like get life going, how do we really ensure to avoid the negative thoughts that come to us during the meditative state or like during this like in our life on regular basis?
I understand what you're
Like
trying to say.
how do we maintain that balance
Good.
between that mental stability
Yeah.
and the general activity that we perform on regular basis?
Yes. Imagine that you have been living in an apartment for quite some times, and then you had to move from there and you went somewhere else. You locked your apartment and you left. After a year or two, you returned back to your own apartment. When you unlock your door, you walk into your apartment. What do you find? There's a lot of dust everywhere, isn't it? Because nobody cleaned it. Okay? Now, supposing it so happens, all the windows are closed, doors are closed, and it's pretty dark. Okay? Then you have a broom and you start to clean that particular room. Supposing there's only one hole in the window, and through that hole the ray of the sun is just beaming in. Everything is dark around you, but that beam of light that comes and falls inside that room, don't you see millions of dust particles in that? But why don't you see it in other places? Because it's all dark. But do you think the other places doesn't have dust particles? They do have. But you are not able to see. What happens? Meditation, when you start, don't forget, you are working with your subconscious mind. The modern science tells each one of us that we are basically robots. Because 95% of our unconscious, subconscious program brain is completely robotical. We hardly have anything that we can do with it. Only 5% of our brain works with conscious plane. That's the reason we decide that we'll do many things, but ultimately we cannot do it, because only that we can do which our subconscious mind supposed us to do. Meditation is a process by which you have resolved, first and foremost, to cleanse your subconscious or reprogram your subconscious or reorient your subconscious. That's the reason meditation becomes such a compulsory, mandatory thing for every student from the very beginning. I think if the meditation could have been taught from early childhood, things could have been better, because by the time you're young or you're going almost toward the middle-aged, if you start meditating, you already have a deep, huge iceberg, which is your subconscious mind. And you have to work so hard, because every time you put your broom, so much dust comes all over. What we see in meditation is nothing but what is already there in our subconscious mind. The beautiful part of it is this. Normally, when you are busy with your activities, you do not so much see your subconscious, because you are driven by it unconsciously. But in meditation, you are face to face with your subconscious mind. And that's the reason it at times becomes very scary. What my suggestion would be is this. The only note that I want to share with all of you, like all the best of the leaders of the world, just try to persevere through this initial phase. I'll just give you a small little example. If you have a glass of water which there is a lot of mud in it, and you are very thirsty and you want to drink that water, what would you do? Do you want to shake that bottle or that particular glass or stir that? Do you think that will be ready and drinkable? No. What do? Intelligently, you put it on a tabletop. Allow it to just rest as it is. You leave it untouched. Over a period of time, the natural process would be this. The dust particles or the mud will settle down to the bottle. But if you touch and go like this, it doesn't, isn't? Meditation again is very, very similar process, where you are just trying not to concentrate, not to focus, not to do anything, just to relax and possibly you are trying to watch what's happening in your brain, what is happening in your thought patterns, what are the emotions that are simultaneously playing in your mind. You are playing the role of a good watcher as if it is happening to somebody else. As the monks always tell you, that you just see the mind as if the clouds of different colors pass and you are not the clouds. You are the watcher of the clouds. So it's just like you don't stir the glass of water in order to drink it. Same way, take time, pause, and just watch the mind settle by itself. Over a period of time, if you go through a persevered effort, over a period of time, this mind will automatically calm down. And once it calms down, then you will come to a point where your past will not so much eat you up. Your future worries and tensions will not drive you crazy. You will be able to come to a state of nowness. You'll be able to come to a gift that is the present, which is only the presence. And everybody is seeking your presence. Because you are essentially a being, and being is a presence. So what you do in meditation is that, forget about all these dust particles that keep on floating on your mind. They will settle by itself and they'll be cleared off. They are basically surfacing from your subconscious mind to your conscious plane of mind, because meditation is nothing but a consciousness in play. So if you allow the consciousness to come, and then gradually they will surface and they'll disappear. And one thing you achieve for sure, that is clarity of mind. Once this subconscious is cleansed, you can be rest assured that you are heading towards a highly evolved state of consciousness, where you will be directly in touch with the higher frequencies and higher worlds, from which you will be able to download infinite quantum of knowledge, innovativeness, and creativity. You will be continuously creative because your mind is now free of those dross and dirts. It's more clear and is available to higher forces to work through you. And then finally, meditation will make you one thing. It will make you an instrument. It will make you an instrument. This speaker through which, this microphone through which I am speaking, this cannot speak. But I'm using it as an instrument to reach out to you. In the same manner, we'll understand our physical body, our mind, our intelligence, our prana. These are but nothing but instruments to carry forward the ultimate mission that this universe has, to play through me. Then you become a divine instrument. And that's exactly what Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna had told to Arjuna. Nimitta matra bhavasabhya sachin. What you have to be is nothing but nimitta. To fight, continually keeping me in your mind. So also, if you are conscious about that source, if you are conscious about our source of all our energies, of all the things that we really need in life, then you are at ease. And that is the purpose of meditation, that you are at ease. And when you are at ease, you are not attacked by disease of both body and mind, and you will be such a beautiful instrument and a gift to the world.
Good morning. Thank you so much for a great talk today morning. I found it really interesting because I study in America, and something that I'm really trying to study more and trying to concentrate in is comparative religion, and especially Judaism and Hinduism is something that I've been reading a lot and thinking about a lot more. And my question primarily to you right now is more about what is the essence of religion. And this is just for you personally. This doesn't have anything to do with the faith, because it's such a powerful tool that's been, it's hard to have a society without it, and it's been misused for political purposes with relation to money in different places. But what is the essence of religion, spirituality, with relation to humanity?
If I answered that question, then I would be the greatest master, because I could only have 30 seconds. The first thought that comes to mind is, ultimately, all of religion is a conditioning for better behavior, that we are not like the Swami said, like the animal kingdom. We have a higher purpose. We have a soul, which incidentally, the Hebrew word for breath
Is ruach.
and soul is the same word, neshama and neshima. The essence of spirituality and religion is not that we should separate ourselves from the earth, but that we take the earth and as instruments of the Almighty, of the Divine, we perfect the world. That means that when we wake up in the morning and we see something wrong, we see hunger, we see pain, we see suffering, we see a child that needs to learn, we see the potential for life, then it's our obligation and responsibility to make that happen. So ultimately, if you are a practitioner of spirituality and religion, then you have to be a better person. You have to be a person of ethics and kindness and charity. And if somebody in the name of religion does the opposite, then they are not religious. It's not possible. And I always tell my friends who tell me they don't believe in a higher power, but they're very ethical and kind, I say, I don't care what name you call it, the fact that they wake up every day and they help other people and they dedicate their lives to improving the world around them, then that is ultimately the fulfillment of every religion. So how you express it doesn't matter. The most important thing is the action and the deed, and that is the essence of religion.
Thank you. Thank you. I was just thinking of the beautiful word, the immortal words of Abraham Lincoln, where he says, malice toward none, charity towards all. Malice toward none, charity towards all. Let that be the vision of our life, Then life could be so much more better for the individual and the collective consciousness. Thank you.
How would you recommend that we, in our day-to-day lives, remain set in our convictions and yet open to other inspirations? How do we receive the experiences of others and complement our own beliefs and yet maintain them?
Are you talking about what are those practices by which we all can possibly evolve into that state? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm thinking more in terms of the convictions that all of us have
Yes.
on an individual basis, and how we even only this morning we've been open to so many. Both your different sets of insight into life philosophies and beliefs, and I'm trying to reconcile the two, and I'm sort of seeking advice as to how to reconcile the two, how to be open-minded while being set in our beliefs. Does that explain a little better what I'm looking for?
Actually, during this course of little talk that I was trying to share with all of you, did you not all feel that we all have individual and collective responsibility? All of us have individual and collective responsibility. But the beauty is this, that I may want the best of the things in this world, but it makes no sense until and unless I am that best person that is expecting. As he always says, that change starts with you. So possibly what we are looking for is that we all need to first quietly and calmly come to our own selves and ask some deeper fundamental questions to our own selves as to why am I born and born to a particular family and have gone to a particular school and had this privilege of being educated, and then there are many more wonderful blessings that I have all received in my life. And then finally, all of this must be having a purpose, and that purpose has to be definitely the ones where I know that in the sand of time, there are the footprints of those people who really brought the ultimate message to all of humanity as to why we are here. These beacons of light from each and every faith traditions or from different walks of life, you'll find these great leaders always have some wisdom to share with us. As I was thinking about one of the great saints and one of the great Tibetan monk, his name was Milarepa, who lived a long life. And then finally, when he was dying, do you know what was his parting message? His parting message was this, because each and every Tibetan monk, when they die, they leave a parting message for all of us. His parting message was that, I lived my life without regrets, and now I am dying without regrets. Let us resolve on this issue. Are we living from morning till night today without regrets? Then we can think about tomorrow to start the day in the morning till night to live without regrets. Are we taking each day by one after the other, and living each day to the best of our conscious effort to improve everything that we do, everything that we are asked to do, everything that we dream to do, and do it in a way where we are able to bring the higher forces to work through us, and not that we are becoming more and more egotistically involved, but universally available. My whole suggestion, my whole submission has always been one thing, that it is ultimately to work in the plane of consciousness that you truly bring a change to yourself, because we are conscious beings of light. And until unless we realize that inner, in-depth potential of the divinity that is within us, we will not be able to so much influence others, because others will always be influenced by the type of thoughts that we have and type of life we lead. So yes, each one of us have to first leave certain simple principles of life every day from morning till night. And if we can do it individually, then a time could definitely come that our families could be beautiful families and not the disharmonious families that we see all over. We can have a better community, a better society where each will thrive with the cooperation of others, with the love from others. My point is, this collective beauty that we are trying to see in the world can always happen provided you and I take that firm conviction and resolution and a resolute everyday effort to really be selfless in our activities and yet try to achieve a point where everybody gets the benefit of it. And I go through a process of enrichment and enlightenment every day. I think Rabbi would...
So there was a young man searching for the truth. And he went all over the world to try to find the truth. And he went to every religion and every faith, and some things he was interested, others not. And he kept looking and looking. Finally, he's shipwrecked, he's on an island. He sees a building in the distance that has millions of little lights. And he's curious, what is this building? And he finally goes towards this beautiful building, and he asks the person, what is this building? And they said, in this building, there's a little lamp that represents every single human being in the world that's alive. Said, really, this must be the palace of truth. Tell me, where is my lamp? And they said, what's your name, your date of birth, where were you born, who are your parents? And they give him which floor, which aisle, and he finds his lamp. He takes the elevator, he goes to that lamp, and he looks at the lamp, and he sees that there's oil on the bottom of the lamp, and it's very low. And he looks at the lamp next to his, and it's almost completely full. So he grabs the lamp of the person next to him and starts to pour some of the oil from his neighbor into his lamp, hoping, obviously it means his life is about to expire, so he wants to borrow some oil from his friend. And a voice comes out and says, young man, your whole life you're looking for the truth. And finally, when it's right in front of you, you can't accept it. And you keep looking to the other side, take from somebody else. Ultimately, the truth of your purpose that was asked, what is our purpose? Which faith, how you practice, you're going to know that truth. You're going to find it in yourself. But together, there's 7 billion people in the world, and billions of us practice some kind of faith. Ultimately, it's every one of us has to remember that it's about taking all of human life and finding the best way to perfect it for all of humanity. Whatever faith we have has to lead towards a world where there's no war, no illness, no illiteracy. Every child gets an education. And what should we be doing with our lives if there's no suffering and only happiness and joy? That's the ultimate enlightenment. But until then, use your little oil that you have to make sure you burn every minute of the day for positivity and goodness for all of humanity. Thank you.
On behalf of tGELF and all present here, I would like to thank both the eminent speakers. Swamiji has made the effort to come all the way from Kolkata to spend this morning with us, and the rabbi has come all the way from New York to spend this time with us. And I think has left us all with a lots of food for thought. It is now up to us to think and reflect on what both these wise gentlemen have shared with us. And ultimately, the choice is ours. How are we going to react to what we have heard? Are we going to act upon it? Are we going to think about it? Or is it something that we'll say, oh, one more speech that we heard? And that is something you have to choose. And in that choice, you make a choice about what kind of life you want to lead. Many of you have this question, how will it help? How will I have purpose? Ultimately, that purpose is something that you have to discover. As Swamiji said, you can't learn it from books or from talks. People can be your guide. People can be your mentor. But ultimately, it's your personal choice whether you want to accept and work on that mentorship and guidance, or do you want to beat a path of your own? And the choice you make is a divinity within you. And if it is something that's going to reach out to others, then you fulfill the purpose of any wisdom tradition in the world.
Correct.
But if it is going to be something that you're going to hold on to, and you really don't care about anybody else, then no wisdom tradition in the world is going to bring you joy or happiness or peace. So ultimately, as I said, and I think that's what we have heard from here, it is our choice as to how we want to lead our lives. And I hope that today's talks will lead many of us to lead, or at least think about leading a more meaningful life. So thank you so very much for being with us. And due to shortage of time, we will have to bring this wonderful conference live that we have had for the last 3 days to an end. But I have some announcements for our Young Leaders Forum members. Please, as soon as we disperse from here, please do go and check out. We are over the checkout time at the hotel, and I'm getting requests. So please do check out immediately. For all other guests, lunch is ready. And if many of you would like to ask further questions, both our Rabbi and Swamiji are available for you all to continue to have a chat with them. tGELF has got wonderful initiatives this year. We have hopefully a global concert coming up later on in the year. We are working with, with schools in rural India. We are working on courses on entrepreneurship. Members of Leaders Forum who would like to be associated with any of these activities, please reach out to Jay Tirodkar or Kshitij Saran, or you could write to me. But I encourage you all to get involved in all these varied activities that tGELF is carrying forward. Those of you who are graduating next year, please apply for our leadership development program. You saw the first 11, our cricket team yesterday, but every year we're going to add a cricket team. So those of you who are interested, please do keep an eye out when we ask for the applications. And finally, thank you very much for all our guests who have made the time to be with us and to encourage our young leaders. So thank you very much, and see you all next year, because we have our conference every August. We are going to have a conference in New York on the 23rd of September, and we will have one on 10th December in Singapore. So tGELF and Life Conference is really spreading its wings. And I hope next time we meet, I'm able to tell you about other places that we are going to. So anybody who's going to be around Singapore around 10th of December or around New York on 23rd of September, please do join us for our live conferences there as well. Thank you very much. The words sound very small. I can only say thank you. But it carries a lot of gratitude from each one of us at tGELF, from Mr. Khemka, his family, from all the people who work at tGELF, from all our Leaders Forum. A very big thank you to all of you. Thank you so much.
tGELF, leading the change.